Hello, I'm Camie, and in this segment of our resource videos, I'm with Bridget Kassler again, and we're going to talk about specific snacks that you can consider taking to your treatments, specifically chemotherapy treatments. One of the things that Bridget helped me remember and become aware of was that I can take my own snacks into treatment. And let's talk a little bit about the types of snacks that somebody would want to consider and why.
Well, first, let's talk about the snacks that you usually find when you go to the infusion units. You may walk in and there's a little kitchenette. And Amy, talk about that because you've gone to...
Yeah, I actually play harp in a number of infusion units. And then when I was actually a patient, I got to experience it personally. And most of the choices are pretzels, crackers, prepackaged products.
Cookies.
Sometimes people will bring in trays of sugary snacks. And yes, it's convenient, but is it the healthiest choice?
Well, so what we talked about in one of the other videos, the deal is this. We want to keep you moist and juicy on the inside. I know it sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Because chemotherapy and radiation are very drying to your insides, it's really difficult for your organs to really function at their best when they're on the dry side. They need to be nice and juicy, so you want to eat things that are going to keep you nice and juicy on the inside. So when you're eating pretzels and chips and cookies and a lot of baked stuff, they're drying. They're on the drying side, and we want to just talk a little bit about those foods. So things that are drying to you would be almost anything that's baked, made with flour and baked. So like we said, pretzels, which also have salt on them most of the time, so that's another addition. Salt can be very contracting and drying to your insides. Potato chips, tortilla chips, I know we love the crunch, and sometimes those things kind of help if you're nauseous. But there's other things you can do.
Before I forget, the corn chips were a wonderful suggestion that you for the nausea.
Right. One thing that I've learned, Fritos, and they also, I think Trader Joe's carries an organic corn chip. They actually are really helpful if you find you have motion sickness, you have nausea from treatment. So not to use every time, but it's just for those times you really are feeling nauseous. It may help to keep it at bay while you're going through the treatment. But while you're there, because you're there for a long period of time, right?
Right. My treatments lasted around 3 hours.
Right. So if you're there 3, 4, 5 hours, you're going to be there over a meal time. And you might get bored too. And if you get bored, sometimes you want a snack. Good things to bring with you are things like applesauce, fresh fruit, grapes. They're all juicy and have water in them. Cut up cucumbers, celery, carrots. If you're really looking for crunch, get those fresh veggies and then you can crunch out on those. Amy had a favorite that she used to bring with her.
I did. I would bring green beans. I actually would cook green beans the night before, and then I would just put the leftovers in a little Tupperware Rubbermaid bag, and that's what I would munch on. And I think it was because they had the water content.
And they're a little crunchy if you don't overcook them. It's kind of like nature's French fries, without having to fry. So those kinds of things are important. If you feel like you're low in energy, you need protein, bring some hummus with you. A lot of times in hospitals and treatment centers, it's really tough to find food that actually really supports you well during treatment. Most people are going for things that comfort.
And fast.
Comfort, fast, convenient.
Right.
And those extra 10 or 15 minutes that it might take for you to pack yourself something could really save you going through some dry stuff later on.
Or the other option is to actually have a friend or a family member, that would be their designated way to help you. Everybody wants to help. And so ask. Say, yes, I would love your help in helping to prepare just my chemo snack bag. And
that's cool.
It is.
Chemo snack bag.
And then it's prepared with love.
We're patenting that.
There it is. No. And underneath all of this, it's the awareness that you're choosing something that supports you from a place of love.
Yes.
And I also want to address some of the cravings sometimes, because everybody's body is different. Everybody reacts differently at different times. At some point during my treatment, I just craved ham and ham salad. And I know I was craving the salt. I know I was craving the protein. I didn't have the time nor the energy nor the desire to actually go further inside and see what that was all connected to. I just addressed the specific craving in that moment, knowing that it would pass and that I could work with it later. But I ate that without the guilt. I really feel like the emotions that we have attached to what we're eating, be aware of it. And if it's a conscious choice and your body is talking to you and you're listening, go for it.
Yes, Amy told me a number of times some of the cravings that she was needing, and of course the two of us had a good chuckle over that, because I wouldn't tell her to eat ham for sure. And actually on our salty list, because you want to really be careful about too much salt during treatment, lunch meat is one of those things you just don't want to do a lot of. But as Amy said, something comes up once or twice and you just really want it, and you're so tired and maybe your resistance is down, and then you go eat it. But you want to make sure you don't keep eating it. Then get back to some of the other basic stuff that actually really feels good from a deep level inside. And I want to stress again, everyone's body is different. I have taught lots of classes in the cancer community, and I hear all kinds of stories. Some people don't want to eat at all. They have no appetite, they're nauseous, everything tastes weird. Other people, they notice nothing, nothing is different. And so for both of you, the ones who don't have an appetite and feel nauseous, you need to find those foods that are going to nourish you. You still need nourishment while you go through this. For those people who notice no difference, you need to find the foods that nourish you too, because you don't want to keep doing what you did before you started. You really want to listen to your body and choose from that place.
The other opportunity that I saw as I was going through treatment is the more aware that I became of what I was putting into my body, I would see the patterns of old behaviors starting to shift. And I'm continuing with those more loving and supportive patterns now after treatment. A couple things we mentioned in prior videos are the warm lemon water that supports the liver function, the green leafy vegetables, and the miso soup. And just briefly, do you want to address the cooking of some vegetables if you want to take them?
Really quickly. Like when you go to chemo and you're going to bring a snack or a meal, and this is for at home as well, but this is a really good thing to have with you when you go through chemo. You don't want to eat raw vegetables all the time because they're not always in season. So sometimes it's easier for your body to digest slightly cooked vegetables. So you might want to cut up some broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, even zucchini, green beans, all kinds of things like that, and blanch them very quickly in boiling water, just for about 30 seconds to a minute, so they're just cooked. And then you can put a little dressing on that or squeeze a little lemon juice on it, and that's a great way to have some vegetables. There's lots of ways to prepare your vegetables that are going to give you strength as well. And you know, a little later you'll find on Amy's website, we'll keep posting some things for you to try, or you can go to mine, because mine's on the end of all of these videos as well that we do together. But really keep in mind, everybody's different. You got to learn for yourself. And you know what, a learning experience.
Yes.
I've learned tons being with Amy. It's been awesome.
So again, just making loving choices for yourself, and everyone is different. Listen inside and you'll find your answers. Thanks for watching.